Hello there. Did you know about 1/3 of all households in this country are rented, which means that renters make up a huge proportion of the voter base? And some of the policies that we see from central government can have a direct effect on your rent. You see, the way that you are charged rent, it's calculated differently from landlord to landlord, property manager to property manager. But there's one factor that is guaranteed to be an element for all rents, and that's what you pay on your rates to your local councils. And there are policies in place from specific parties about, well, how your rates are going to be affected in different ways. For example, if you live in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, one of the policies that the National Party has put forward is getting rid of the fuel tax. And sure, people want to pay less on fuel, totally get it. But that fuel tax, by law, has to be used on really specific infrastructure projects within the city. There's things like wharves being built, or cycleways, pathways, roads, all of those kind of things are covered under this act. And if you remove that fuel tax, Auckland Council suddenly has to find the money from somewhere for the management, upkeep, and ongoing projects that are in the middle of production. That's that's a huge bill that could come through specifically for Auckland voters. But at the same time, there's other issues around the entire country that are affected by government policy that will be reflected in your rates bill, like water. We've seen in the last few weeks some really serious issues around Three Waters, for example. There's the sewage pipe leak sinkhole in the middle of Auckland Central. There's the cryptosporidium outbreak in Queenstown. And that's just the latest in a range of issues that have shown up. It's why Three Waters was proposed by the Labour government to try and make sure that there was enough lending power for different authorities to be able to fix these issues, because we need clean drinking water. The National Party last year promised that they were going to repeal Three Waters and replace it with something else. But they haven't. They've put it in their first 100 days of government plan, but they haven't actually put any money aside for it. They've essentially said the status quo is absolutely fine. But that infrastructure still needs to be built. It still needs to be taken care of, which means that councils now are going to either have to combine to form a CCO, which is what they could do now if they wanted to, and they obviously don't, or they're going to have to borrow tons of money to be able to keep the infrastructure up to a point where it is providing safe and effective water supplies. And that means larger rate bills for everyone, which means that your rents will go up, because that's just how these things work. When your rates go up, your rent generally goes up as well. The two tend to be tied together. So if you are a renter out there debating who it is that you should vote for, definitely have a look at what the effect of the policies that are being put forward could be on what your rates bills would be for your landlord, because that's going to be passed on to the people who pay for everything. You guys.